Boom! Red Barn Builds 99 back at you. Today I'm going to be doing lowering springs on a pretty cool car. I'm going to show you something and you tell me what kind of car you think it is. That's all you get. Nope. So it's a 2023 BMW M340i. I'm going to be installing H&R lowering springs on all four corners on this car. Beautiful car. Love the dark gray carbon arrow. Very nice car. And if you've never seen one before, this is a competition. So anyway, first things first is I'm going to be just going to jack it up each corner as I go along. I'm going to jack up the corner. I'm going to take the wheel off and then start to take the strut out. Remove the spring, compress the spring, remove it, switch it out with the H&R, bing bang boom, take you along, show you how to do it. Alrighty, let's go. So, when you get the hood up, there's this cover, there's four little pop clips you take off to remove this little cover to access the strut mount bolts. So, did that. Now I'm going to be disconnecting some things under here, chopping it out, and taking the spring off. Okay, so the strut is out of the car. Here are the H&R lowering springs. Here's the front. This is the dust shield. Here is the top hat. So we're going to be reusing this. We're using the bottom spring mount, cushion, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be using the bump stop. So we're going to cut the bottom part of the bump stop off with a razor, because if you don't, because you're lowering the car, you're more than likely going to hit these bump stops pretty frequently when you're going over bumps and things like that. So you just cut this section off. Doesn't alter the functionality of the bump stop in any way. Put it back on, and then I'm going to reassemble. Put the new spring on, which looks like this. That's how the new spring looks. This then goes back down in here. You want to make sure that there is a ridge or a stop that you want to put up against the spring itself. Like that. Right there. Then I'm going to cut this off and then put this back in. Like so. It goes this way. So I'm going to get on that, reinstall it, and get that strut back in the car. Front springs are in. As you can see right there, the wheels are on. Get up in there. As you can see, the springs in up in there. Wheels on here. Now I've got the rear passenger jacked up. And now I'm just going to be disconnecting the lower control arm bolt, where the strut mounts to the lower control arm, dropping the lower control arm, taking the spring out, putting the new spring back in, putting it all back together. So I'll show you how you do that. First, we'll take this E20, knuckle the control arm, and then a 19, I believe, strut to control arm. Got to take those out. Got to compress the suspension up a little bit when you take those out, just so that the spring doesn't blow the bottom control arm down once you get it out. So let's get on it. Okay, so the rear spring is out. You just gotta compress the rear control arm up. Take that bolt out. Push the control, let the control arm down slow. Push the control arm down, and then take the old spring out right through here. Below this control arm. So the rear rubber piece might stay on the control arm or the spring. You're gonna reuse that. Stayed on the control arm, but we're gonna be reusing the top hat also. So I'm gonna take that off the old spring, put that on the new spring. Just like that. Now this is going to go back in the car. Alrighty, so the rear springs are in. Reuse the top hat, the rear rubber piece. You reuse those. It's on the control arm, but all the springs are in. I'm gonna drop it down real quick, get you a full 360 of what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Definitely lower than before. Still a little high in the back, but that might settle over time a little bit. But that's what it looks like. So that is H&R lowering springs on a 2023 BMW M340i. Not the hardest job in the world. Definitely a couple of things you should know. But that job's done. On to the next. BMW, Audi, Volvo, Ferrari, Porsche. I don't know. That's how I do it at Red Barn Builds. I'll catch you on the next one. Out!
Yeah.